Hi, my name is Mr. Chuen. I welcome you to my study room. If today is your first time, then I want to encourage you to subscribe to this channel for more videos. Today's study is about finding the equation of a circle when given the ends of the diameter of the circle. Assuming you are given a circle with diameter and you are given coordinates at the end of the diameter and asked to find the equation of a circle. That is what we are talking about here. So assuming the end of the diameter here is the point A with coordinates x1, y1, and then here is B with coordinate x2, y2. I'm going to take you through three different approaches by which we can use a circle with this information to find its equation. So the very first approach we are going to use is the midpoint approach. And by the midpoint approach, we are just going to find the middle. If this is the diameter of the circle, then mean that the middle of this will be the center of the circle. So we are just going to find the center by using the midpoint formula. Then after getting the center, we can just use the idea of one of the videos I've already done, which is finding the equation of the circle when you are given the center and the point on the circumference, and then we go ahead and find the equation of our circle. We take our first example to see how we'll be doing that. Our first question says find the equation of a circle on diameter PQ where P is 4, 3 and Q is 2, -5 as their coordinates. So like I said, we are going to use the midpoint approach first. Method 1. Here we are just going to use the midpoint formula to find the middle of this line PQ. The middle of this line PQ, which I demonstrated using the diagram here. Then after that, we just use the middle, which becomes the center of the circle. Then after that, we just use the center and a point on the circumference to solve. So let's go and find the midpoint of PQ now. Alright, so like I like naming them, let me call here x1, y1, and then here x2 and y2. So we are going to find the midpoint of this, and this will give us 4 plus 2 all over 2, and then y will be 3 minus or plus -5 all over 2. Simplifying further, 4 plus 2 is 6 divided by 2 is 3, and then 3 plus -5 is the same as 3 minus 5, which will give a -2 divided by 2 is -1. So it means that this becomes the center of our circle. The midpoint becomes the center of our circle. We are now going to find the equation of a circle with center 3, -1, and the point 4, 3, and then 2, -5 on the circumference. And we can choose any of the two because they are both on the circumference, so it's the same thing. I will choose the P, you can decide to choose the Q, and you get the same answer. Because I already have a video on how to find the equation of a circle when given the center and a point on the circumference of the circle, I'm not going to spend so much time explaining. I'll just go straight to the point by writing the general equation of a circle, which I'm sure we should all remember by now, which is x squared plus y squared plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c equals 0. Our center is 3, -1, and we know the center is from what we have done so far is negative g, negative f. Anyone who is having confusion about this can go back and watch most of my videos on the equation of a circle, especially the general formula. These things were well explained there. So let's go on. If our a is negative g, g will now be negative a. So our equation now is going to be x squared plus y squared plus 2. Wherever I see g, I put negative 3 there because I'm negating the g. X plus 2, b, which is negative f, is negative 1. So that means f will be 1, y plus c equals 0. Simplifying this further, we are going to have x squared plus y squared minus 6x plus 2y plus c equals 0. Because we'll be substituting numbers into the equations, let me just call this equation 1 for easier identification, and let me call this equation 2. Right. So now that we've fixed the coordinate of the center into the general equation to obtain equation 2, we are now going to pick one of the points on the circumference, and like I said, you can pick P or you can pick Q. It doesn't spoil anything. So I'm going to pick P now. So when I pick P, this is X and this is Y. So that is 4, 3. I'm going to pick 4, 3. So let me just write it here. X equal to 4 and y equal to 3 into equation 2. It is the reason why we've even named them the equations at the first place. Whenever you are substituting any point on the circumference of a circle into the general equation, you can substitute the x coordinate into x and then the y coordinate into y, and it will work perfectly for any of them you are doing. So that is what we are going to do now. Wherever we see x, we substitute 4. Wherever you see y, we substitute 3. So this is going to give us 4 squared plus 3 squared minus 6 times 4 plus 2 times 3 plus c equals 0. And this will help us to get the value of our c. Simplifying this further, we are going to have 4 squared is 16 plus 9 minus 24 plus 6 plus c equals 0. So this is 25. 25 minus 24 is 1 plus 6 is 7. So our c is going to be negative 7. And substituting this into equation 2, equation 2 is now going to be x squared plus y squared minus 6x plus 2y minus 7 equals 0. And this becomes the equation of the circle we are looking for. So this is what happens when you are using the midpoint approach. Then let me go on to the second method. With regards to method 2, I would like to call your attention to a video I did earlier on circle theorems. And one of the theorems states that the diameter of a circle subtends an angle of 90 degrees at the circumference of the circle. Let me just sketch that quickly for us to make use of that. Alright, so I just decided to sketch the circle again so that I will be able to explain what I was talking about. We have learned in the circle theorem that whenever we have a circle with a diameter, then the diameter subtends an angle of 90 degrees at the circumference. So it means that this angle here is 90 degrees. So if this angle here is 90 degrees, then let me call here R, the point R, with coordinate x, y. Good. So if this line here is the diameter of this circle, and it subtends an angle of 90 degrees at the circumference of the circle, then it means that the line PR will be perpendicular to the line QR. Yes, because perpendicular lines have an angle of 90 degrees between them. So if they are perpendicular, it means that the gradient of this line times the gradient of this line will be equal to -1, because the product of the gradient of two perpendicular lines is -1. So if the gradient of this line PR is equal to M1 and this is M2, then we can conclude that M1 times M2 equals -1. Yes, so this is a fact in mathematics, that when two lines are perpendicular, the product of their gradients will be -1. So we are just going to use that idea to find the equation of this circle. Then that one we don't use any general equation or anything. By the time we equate the two of them and then we simplify, we will just get the equation of the circle we are looking for. So let's go to that quickly. I'm taking the gradient of PR first times the gradient of QR, then I will equate it to -1 and simplify. Gradient is changing y over changing x, so that is just what we are going to do. So the gradient of PR is going to give us y2. So our y2 is y minus y1 is 3 all over x2 is x minus x1 is 4. Then this one times the gradient of this one, QR. So again, QR, this will be x1 y1, x2 y2. So this one times changing y, so y2 is y minus y1 is -5 all over x2 is x minus x1 is 2. So the product of this should give us -1. Let's simplify further. So to simplify further, we are going to have y minus 3 times y plus 5 over x minus 4. Let me write this 4 well, times x minus 2. All should give us -1. Then when I do cross multiplication, I'm going to have y minus 3 times y plus 5 to be equal to -1, the whole of this times x minus 4 times x minus 2. Alright, so I'm going to expand now. This will give me y squared plus 5y minus 3y minus 15 equals, I will still keep the -1 and expand first so that everyone will understand. This will give us x squared minus 2x minus 4x plus 8. Good. So when we expand further, we are going to have y squared plus 5y minus 3y is 2y minus 15 equals, now we are using the -1 to open, so -x, this minus this is -6x, then -1 times -6x will give us +6x plus 8. -1 times 8 is -8. Alright, and now I'm going to regroup all of them to the left hand side to give me x squared plus y squared. This one comes and becomes -6x plus 2y. Then 15 plus 8 will be minus 7. Then there will be nothing left here again, so it will be equal to 0. And this, after finalizing, already becomes the equation of our circle. And I'm sure that is the same as what we had at the top here. X squared plus y squared minus 6x plus 2y then minus 7 equals 0. So this is the second method that we can use to solve this one without stress. Instead of finding the midpoint and using the equation, the general equation of a circle to solve, you can just extend or subtend another angle at the circumference, then use the idea of perpendicular lines to solve, and then you get the equation you are looking for. Then we go on to the third method. I promised at the beginning that we use 3 methods, so we go on to the third method to solve it. So let's take that quickly. So method 3 is saying that if we have the ends of the diameter to be P with the coordinate 4, 3, and Q the coordinate 2, negative 5, as in the case of this question, and this diameter PQ subtends an angle at another point, which in this case I'm calling R, with coordinates x, y. Then we are saying, I'm just writing this from this thing that I have here, this circle that I have here. I'm just writing the points there. Alright, so it is saying that if we have this case, then we can fix that into the equation x minus x1 times x minus x2 plus y minus y1 times y minus y2 all equal to 0. And we are just going to substitute. So in this case, I would like to quickly name my points not to make any mistake. So this is x1, y1, x2, y2, and these are the ends of the diameter, very, very necessary. And this is the point where the diameter subtends the 90-degree angle at. So substituting into the formula here, we are going to have x minus 4 times x minus 2 plus y minus 3 times y minus negative 5 equals 0. Good. Simplifying further, we are going to have x squared minus 2x minus 4x plus 8 plus y squared. This becomes positive 5, so plus 5y minus 3y minus 15 equals 0. Simplifying further, we are going to have x squared minus 6x plus 8 plus y squared plus 2y minus 15 equals 0. Then we rearrange it further to have x squared plus y squared minus 6x plus 2y. 8 minus 15 is minus 7 equals 0. And this becomes the equation of the circle. So by comparing, we can see that it is the same as this equation that we have here. X squared plus y squared minus 6x plus 2y minus 7. So that is what we get. And any of the three of them will give you the same answer if you are to work it on your own. So it depends on which one you are very convenient with. You can choose any of them. Before we bring today's lesson to an end, I would like to give you some questions to try on your own. If you like, you can share the answers with me in the comment box. Thank you. The questions are: find the equations of the circles drawn on the following ends of diameters. So we have about 9 questions here. Feel free, pause the video and work them and get your answers. You should be able to get all your answers right, even if I don't give you the answers. Then, or better still, you can share with me. Alright, so this brings us to the end of today's study. And the day study has been about how to find the equation of a circle when given the ends of the diameter. And we used 3 methods in solving. We decided to call the first method the midpoint approach, where we just use the midpoint formula to find the midpoint of the diameter, which is the center of the circle, and one of the points of the circumference to find the equation of the circle. So that's method 1. Then with method 2, we use the idea from circle theory, where we said that the diameter of a circle subtends an angle of 90 degrees at the circumference of the circle. So if the angle is 90 degrees, then the two lines forming the 90-degree angle are perpendicular. For that matter, the product of their gradient will be -1. So by the time we simplify that, we get the equation of our circle. Then with the third method, is the same thing we did with method 2, but that one now more on just into a formula. We substitute into it and simplify, and then we had the answer. Any of them, you are good to go. Yeah, with any of them, you are good to go. And I hope this has been of help to you. If yes, why not consider subscribing to this channel for more videos. I hope to meet you again in my study room. Thank you for making time with me, and see you again. Bye bye.